Good afternoon, friends. I'm Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and welcome to some Creative Ink. It's time for me to share some creativity with you so you're inspired to create and share with others, because we want to share and make the world a kinder place. So come on in, say hello. If you're used to joining me on Facebook today on Wednesdays, I had some issues connecting. I'm not sure why. So instead of taking time to figure it out more, we're just going to be on YouTube today. So come on in, say hello. If you're new to my channel, make sure you say hello to let me know that you're joining in and where you're from, so I can welcome you. And we're gonna get started. We've got a card sketch today. Super easy card sketch that you can use time and time again. We're gonna use a circle punch, but it could be anything that you have in your creative library. So let's get started. Hi, Shirley, welcome. Okay, so we know it's card sketch day, so I'm using my card sketch journal. For paper crafters, this is where you can create your sketches, so you have a one-stop place to look at your sketches time and time again. Okay, it can be as simple as easy. I've used a few colored pencils here, or you can just use regular pencils as well. So just make it your own card sketch journal, and we're gonna get started. So today's sketch is like this. It's going to be a landscape sketch, and we've got just a simple little focus point with some circles and a greeting, a strip of cardstock for a greeting. So really easy. So let's, what are we using today? We are gonna, and I also want to remind you about product of the month. Whenever you purchase $75 or more, you can add in a product of the month to your order for $5. Perfect. It's wonderful. This is the May product of the month. It is 12 sheets of vellum. I want to say paper. I don't know if they call it, they just call it paper. And so you're going to get, there's these 4 designs. You're going to get 3 of each of the 4 designs. I have not ordered it yet, so I plan on ordering it soon. Hopefully it is still there. Last month was the Eyelet Blooms die. And I'm not sure, I believe the Notes of Spring is sold out, and I believe this is sold out as well. So, and definitely the True Blue Floral. So, so you just kind of look at product of the month, and it should tell you what's still available at the moment. Okay. So every month there'll be a new product of the month. So the next one will be released on June 2nd, as well as new kit collections as well. Okay. Okay, so we're going to use just the words out of this, sending smiles, for our greeting on our card today. And this is the designer paper we're using, Velvet Meadow, and it gives you a hint what's velvety. It's the white on here that is like raised velvet, so it's really cool. Here's the flip side, and it's got a lot of our new in colors. This one's cloud cover, but we got some basic beige in there. The green is our Peaceful Pines, and Berry Burst is this is a cloud cover here as well. But Berry Burst is our pinky color in this suite this time. And here's another one. And so one side has the velvet on, the other side does not. Okay, here's another one. Here's this one. So this is, all the white is the velvet, and then this is like just a generic basic beige pattern, kind of like a washboard. And then we've got this one right here. So that's our Velvet Meadow designer paper. Okay, so let's make this quick card. We're going to start off with a half a sheet of thick basic white, and you can purchase any of these supplies in my online store. So it's a 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to completely cover our card base with this piece of Velvet Meadow. So this is obviously 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. And we'll just adhere this to the card front here. All right, let's just add this on. And you know what? I'm going to have to trim this. Sometimes, you know, when you cut a piece in half, depends on what trimmer I use. So, or did I get it on the same line? So I'm going to just trim off this little sliver here. And nobody's going to be any the wiser, okay? That way it looks, because nobody's measuring your card if it's truly 5 1/2 inches wide, okay? So it's not going to really hurt anything for you to trim off that little bit. Okay, so we've got that. And then I have a piece of 2 3/4 by 4 inches of basic white cardstock. And I already embossed it with the Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder. Okay, I thought this would be okay to add some texture to this. And we are going to, and I've punched out 3 circles that are 1 7/8 with our circle punch. And we are going to simply layer these onto here like this. Okay, this is such a simple card. And I'm only going to put adhesive on like 2/3 of it because it's going to go over the edge. So I'm just kind of centering it from there. And I want to make sure these are going to meet enough that this is going to overlap the two. Okay, we're going to move that in just a hair more. There we go. And I was almost going to make this card one of our card buffet sketches, but I don't know. I changed my mind. So it is today's card sketch. Okay, so if you really wanted to dimensionalize, you could, but I'm going to just simply have this stuff all flat, and then I'm going to dimensionalize this part, okay? So let's do that. And I've been working on my newsletter, so it will go out tonight, okay? And there are still some openings for classes this week. Classes are Thursday and Friday. And so there's openings for both days, and it's a card buffet. So there's a whole selection. I've dug out some new cards to create. So there'll be a great selection of cards to choose from. So we're going to just center this. So if you're interested, just simply message me and that you want to come. And of course, we're going to have some type of sweet treat. And just have fun crafting the morning away. It's from 9 to 1 tomorrow and Friday. I know, time just flies right on by. And then next week, classes are Thursday only next week. Okay, so let's do that. We've got a little 1/2 inch piece of designer paper there that matches our front. And then I've got this 1/8 inch strip here of Berry Burst that coordinates. We're going to just trim the back side of this. Okay, I told you, this is such a quick card. It's a great way to use up some scraps of cardstock that you might have a stash of. Okay, we're getting close. So I've got this 1/2 inch strip here. We're going to take some of our Secret C here. And newsletter. So I just talked about my newsletter. If you're not a subscriber of my newsletter, get subscribed today because it will be going out tonight for sure. Not sure exactly what time, but the sooner you subscribe, the better. Okay, otherwise you get on the list for the next one. Okay, that looks beautiful. That's with the Secret C ink there. And I'm using an old punch. I just can't give this one up. This is the old hexagon punch, but you can use your scissors, or if you happen to have a different punch. I love using this punch to flag the ends. Oh, that's a little bit long. Let's just cut a little bit more off from that. Does it look about even? Maybe just a hair more. Okay, we've got strips going all over the place. All right, doesn't that look pretty? So let's dimensionalize this as well. And then I'll give you a sneak peek of our card buffet cards for June. Hi, Carol. Rainy day. You know what? It's supposed to, I thought we were going to get rain, but it's just been cloudy here, and but not bad. So there we go. Okay, we still need to jazz this up a little bit. I feel like that's crooked. What else do we need to do? We're going to add some ribbon. So where'd my ribbon spool go? This is from the Garden Party Suite from the March 26 online exclusives. It is a Berry Burst, what do they want to call it? Shiny ribbon. So I believe this is still available. It's just shimmery and shiny. And we're going to use our hair pick here. You could use a meat fork or something, and I just leave it on the spool, and I bring this around till I get, you know, a nice tail here, about 1.5 inches or so. Okay, so see how it kind of crosses over to kind of make that Cancer ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to just take my thumb and I'm going to just hold those two there, and then I'm going to take this tail and bring it down through the middle, and then come back up from the back side and just tie a simple knot. Just one knot is all you need. Okay, and that's it. This is a little stiffer ribbon, so just make sure you tie it as tight as you can. And then I'm going to bring these down a little bit because I want to create like a ribbon. And then you just slide it off. Look at that. Then you have a perfect bow. Now this ribbon does have kind of like a less shiny side on the back side than the front. So as you're tying it, you just want to pay attention. Okay. Okay, let's add a glue dot on with this, and then we will trim our bow up. I like to trim it after it's on my card so I can kind of visualize it better and make sure I get enough length that I want. All right. So I think I want to go down there. Actually, I want my ribbon to go this way. Let's do that. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Just adds enough glitz to it. And let's add some rhinestones. I think this card would look pretty with just a little bit more glamour to it. So let's take our pick tool and grab our basic rhinestone jewels here, and oh, where do we want to put these? Let's just let's put one there, and then let's put a couple. Let's put one there, and then let's put one up there. Okay. All right. I think I like it. So remember, this is the Stone and Vine embossing folder. I forget what suite that goes with. And let's add some designer paper to our envelope flap so we can call this card finished. All right. Whoops. Getting glue all over my desktop here. You know, I need to clean it. I've got like gunk all over. Okay, so just looking to see if it felt like there was a right or wrong way, a direction for this, but it's kind of an overall direction. So, okay, so what's happening in the Stampin' Up! World? So demonstrators were able to pre-order from the July online exclusives that are coming out. And that's what I got to do next, is put an order in, because there are some fun things coming out. Lots of Christmas, some Halloween, some all occasion stuff, fabulous stuff. All right, so there's our card today. Isn't that fabulous? Did I talk about my newsletter? I don't think I did. So sign up for my newsletter if you're not a subscriber, because that's where you're going to get PDFs for like these card sketches that I share with you here online. Okay. All right. So there's that card, but let's take a brief look. These are the for the June Crafter's Tea here in my home. You can always get a kit to go as well. And there's information in my newsletter regarding that. And these are this month's cards. We're going to use the, yeah, what is that called? Oh, what is this sweet called? Oh my goodness. Delicate Dreams. And then here's one of the vintage or the Velvet Meadows. We've got the, I'm really struggling with what to call these today. Got cute little ladybug on there. Cute as jam, or I don't know. These aren't cute as a bug. This is cute as a bug right here. We're using that embossing folder. And then the Brush with Beauty stamp set. Okay, so those are the June Crafter Tea cards. You make one of each, and we have lunch and some type of favor and sweet treat and so on. So, okay, so let's look at the other cards ideas with this card sketch. So here's another Velvet Meadow with this different designer paper. Okay, I used the 1 7/8 punch here, and I think it's okay. And this one's a 2-inch. So what do you think? I don't think you can really tell the difference. I almost think I like the smaller one, so it shows off the embossing just a hair more. And then here we've got the Cute as a Bug paper. And then we've got some Delicate Dreams right here, okay? This has got the sunflower embossing folder in the background of there with basic beige. So, okay, well, that is today's card sketches for you. We just finished up with this card right here, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Joan. Welcome. So go back. So, oh, I didn't talk about Facebook. I had a hard time. I couldn't get connected to Facebook, so I'm not sure what happened. I gotta go see what happened, why it wouldn't let me connect. So anyways, because I logged out of Facebook, so but I was fine last week, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. So I gotta go check that out and see what the problem was, and hopefully we'll be back next Wednesday here on Facebook, but come back on Friday for a fun fold. I believe it's going to be a fun fold on Friday at 3 p.m. Okay, thanks so much everybody for joining me, and we will see you soon.